Hello guys, and welcome to this special episode on my channel on vintage tech. We're talking about music, and we're talking about that guy over there, which is a vintage HiFi stereo from Kenwood from 1987-1988. If you recall my channel, I did a couple of reviews of the Bose sound speakers, and in those reviews I told you that I used those equipment for daily basis, while for serious listening I have a high quality hi-fi stereo. Well, it's that guy, and it's time to show you how it is. It is a very powerful equipment, connected in terms of speakers with two Wooferdale, a Mordaunt and two Pioneer, so 5 speakers overall, and it's stacked separate components hi-fi stereo. So we're talking about the amplifier, the tuner, cassette recorder, CD player, Phono Player, an AV surround speakers, and of course it's connected also via Bluetooth with the computer or iPhones for digital music. I will go into the review of each of the components. If you guys are just interested in listening and seeing how it sounds, then please skip at the end of the video. The last 4 minutes is an audio test, and bear in mind that since I have neighbors, in terms of volume I tested at 15% of its top capacity, so by listening to that you can imagine how it sounds when it's 100% of its power. But again, I have neighbors, I cannot. So with no further ado, let's get into it. The amplifier is probably the best piece in the whole HiFi system. We're talking about the Kenwood KA-770D. It's a model from 1988 and was top of the line at that point in time. We're talking about an 80 watts per channel type of amplifier. As you can see, he has different ports. I very much like that you have, of course, the usual CD, phono, tuner and auxiliary, but in terms of tape monitor, which are the ports for connecting the tape as well as the amplifier and other sources, you have, as you can see, 3 of them. So definitely a lot of ports. Usual is a pre-integrated amplifier, so you have the bass, the treble, you have the CD direct indicator, CD direct possibility. This is about the type of source you may want to use when in the tape recorder when you want to record a tape. It has an output for 2 sets of speakers, so you can have up to 4 speakers playing all together if you want, or in different rooms, so that's another plus. On top of the amplifier we have the equalizer, the graphic equalizer. We're talking about the Kenwood GE-87. Model from 1987, like the equalizer. And I would say at that point in time it was a mid-range, so this is of course not one of the top line equalizer, but it does his job. You have SA levels to be adjusted, and on this part here, of course you have the input selection. This part is very important in the sense that when it's online, it means that the equalizer works for all the other sources, CD, vinyl and so on and so forth that you are playing. When you are in tape, it means that you are playing a cassette. This equalizer is connected through to the amplifiers by the date monitor in and out, RCA ports, and the tape recorder is connected to the equalizer, and then from the equalizer goes to the amplifier. The CD player is the Kenwood DP-R5060. This is a slightly more recent model, so we're talking about a 2002 model. It has 1-bit dual DA converter, and it's a 5-disc player charger. I really do not fancy too much the fact that you have the possibility of having multiple CDs playing at the same time. I prefer the classic one, but this is good and came with the package, so I bought it. As you can see here, if you press open close, you have the whole lid, and with this button here you can skip and put all the CDs up to 5, as I said. It's a nice one. I would say that it plays various format of CDs. It plays also MP3. It has a 95 dB signal to noise ratio and a 95 dB dynamic range. So, and it's in terms of digital output, you have the RCA. I use those connecting to the amplifier, but you can also have an optical connection. At the bottom of the stereo on the left, we find the tape recorder. It is the Kenwood KX-97CW. It's a good one from 1987 as well. It has features like, of course, the usual feature like auto reverse, double contact cassette deck, 4-track and 2-channel stereos. Is one head per playback and one head for record and playback, and one for erase. So 3 head definitely, which was one of the top features at that point in time. And you can place any type of cassettes from the normal to the CR02. As you can see, you have the peak level meters, and you have features with the auto direction, the timer, and you can balance the recording and the center level when you are registering a recording on a tape. At the very bottom of the stereo, we found the Kenwood KT-880D, which is a tuner. It's a mono and stereo tuners featuring, of course, FM and AM and MW bands. It's a model from 1987, and this one is together with the amplifier the other best component of the stereo. Why? Because despite being at that point in time not so expensive, it has remarkable performance. And up to date, whereas you have a lot of digital radio, and these digital radios, they are affecting and distorting the signal from the normal radio. Well, in this case, is one of the few tuners that is immune to HD radio self-noise without any modification. And the only known Kenwood component in the stereo hi-fi is the phono turntable, the Phono Player. We're talking about, as you can see, the Pioneer PL990. This is a model, is a recent model, about 2014. And it's like an entry model, one of the best, I would say, entry model for people who wants to go and approach the experience of vinyl. It's a fully automatic stereo turnable, and it has a built-in phono equalizer. So it means that it pre-equalizes the vinyls, and therefore it cannot be connected to the phono output of the amplifier, but it needs to be connected like within the aux in, auxiliary in, or the CD in and RCA input of the amplifier. It has a DC servo monitor, and it has also a low mass straight tone arm. So you can see, pretty simple. You have the lid open, and then you can press play or stop. And once the phone player is ready, you can turn it down and it starts playing. It plays 45 and 33 type of vinyl, manual speed adjustment, and I also like this red light, which is in line with the rest of the hi-fi and shows the frequency and the speed of the vinyl that you are playing. In the bottom part of the stereo, we have one of the most recent component, which is from 2002, which is the AV surround. We're talking about the Kenwood SS-3300. So this is a Dolby Pro Logic surround processor, so it's something on top of the stereo, because it connects with the 3 other additional speakers, one center and two rear right and rear left. So it's a 2+1 Dolby Surround system, and as it sounds, it is used when you play movies to get a Dolby Surround experience. In particular, you have the Dolby Pro Logic or the Surround 3D stereo. Plus you have other additional pre-configured sound modes, which are hall and theater. With bypass you do not use that, but of course you can use the surround speaker also if you want when you are playing, for example, a CD, to listen to the CD with 5 speakers rather than only 2. The other one is this little guy in the middle here. This is from Logitech, is the Bluetooth audio adapter for music streaming. So this captures via Bluetooth the signal from any Bluetooth device, for example your mobile phone, and it transforms and conveys it to left and right RCA type of input, and therefore it can be connected in the amplifier through the dedicated port. So with this little guy you can play any digital song from any equipment, like, as I said, phone, tablets, computer, streaming via Bluetooth with a high quality, music quality, audio quality to the stereo. Okay, so now we're gonna see how it sounds, right? So I will put the same level of volume across the different components, and I will play all of them. So somebody said to me, you know that I could be in love with almost everyone. I think that people are the greatest fun, and I will be alone again tonight, my dear.
WR Travel Safe to find out more.
It's a dog.
It's a cat.
It's a dog.
We are now going to witness the effect of eating a Big Tasty from McDonald's. It's back. Big Tasty, big silence.
Served after 11 AM, participating restaurants only, available until the 4th of May.
Philip Schofield here.
Your name, and I could pick a fight with and dance all night with. Maybe you like me the way I am. Even though you got bad tattoos and smell like booze, I'm into you. Even though you got an